What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back, even though you probably don't want me to be after yesterday's video, for my NBA DFS contenders for Thursday, August 20th. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of the other content goes live. Eric Bledsoe is on the outside looking in today. You guys better buckle up. This is a particularly egregious contenders video. This top 10 is wild. This slate is weird. So, are you ready to see the top 10? I'm ready to give it to you. Let's find out who it is right now. Alrighty, coming in number 10, Aaron Holiday. Now, this is primarily a FanDuel play. He's a $3,900 point guard on a slate where value is really tough to come by. On DraftKings, I don't think you really need to spend $4K on Holiday. You still need about 30 points to be happy in a GPP. I'm not sure that's the spot I want to go, but on FanDuel, I think it works perfectly. There's a lot of guys to pay up for today, not a lot of ways to pay down that make you comfortable. People are going to look at Holiday's minutes from the first game and wonder why this is the case, but he got into pretty extreme foul trouble. I'm expecting him to play 30 minutes. They want him to be out there. The combination of him not being on the floor for foul trouble and Victor Oladipo being hurt really changed the scope of the game for the Pacers. But I believe their goal is having Aaron Holiday run the show, or at least be out there running the show for an extended time. He's not the best fantasy producer when Oladipo and Brogdon are on the floor. It's taken into account here. We're talking about a 15% usage rate, relatively low projection across the board. He's talented, though. And at a sub 4K price tag, there's not a lot of places to find value on a 4-game slate. I'm betting on Aaron Holiday's minutes. That makes me want to go there on FanDuel. Alrighty, it's Dame time. Number 9, the number 5 guy on FanDuel. A little bit tougher to get to on DraftKings at 11K. We just don't have the value right now. You need 72 from him to hit a GPP goal. That's a big target. 1.05x, multiplier on SuperDraft looks pretty good. He's 6th there, but this is the spot to go on FanDuel. You can pair him with Aaron Holiday, makes for a nice cheap combination, giving him 41 minutes, monstrous usage rate. That projects him for 35 real points. Dame's just insane. I don't think the Lakers are particularly set up to guard him. If Rondo happens to play, people probably think that's a good thing for the Lakers. It's great for Damian Lillard. Rondo is terrible defensively. So we're talking about a guy, baseline 35 and 9. You're looking for just north of 60 fantasy points on FanDuel, 62.8. That hits your goal in a GPP. If he hits that, you're happy. I want to go that direction. Damian Lillard looks fantastic on FanDuel at 10K. I see no reason he can't hit value at a 10K price tag. Then coming in number 8, we've got James Harden. FanDuel's going to be a little bit trickier. I'd rather go to Dame. Harden is 11.8. That is not exactly an appealing price tag. But on DraftKings, 11.7 isn't so bad for someone like Harden. He's going to dominate the ball. I expect this game to go a little bit different than the first, but Harden's at 1.8 FanDuel points per minute over the bubble. And he's still going to be without Russell Westbrook. This team is entirely Harden's. I can't imagine wanting to go anywhere else for someone in the high-end range, although we will get there. The floor is just massive out of James Harden. It's so rare to see someone projected for 39 real points. It's possible that number goes over 40 by the time I get closer to lock. He's a threat for a triple-double. He's going to have the ball in his hands more than anyone else in this game. On DraftKings, I think you can get there. There's enough value at the bottom for James Harden's points to matter. And because of the lack of value, his GPP goal isn't too crazy. I know 76.4 seems like a monster, and it is. But for James Harden, that's not really out of reach. All right, coming in number 7. And this is going with the assumption that Aaron Gordon is not playing. If Aaron Gordon happens to be ruled in, go check out my Twitter. I will have an update giving you guys a little bit of a different look because James Ennis is going to fall out of there. Yes, I'm recommending James Ennis. Yes, this feels like a chase. Trust me, there's more Magic guys to come. It makes me feel really uncomfortable given that they won game 1 because I fully expect the Bucks to come out here and wipe the floor with the Magic. But for right now, it's hard to not want to go to James Ennis given his minutes. I'm giving him 29 here. He's a $4,300 small forward on FanDuel. He's a 4K small forward power forward on DraftKings. And you're only looking for 30 fantasy points. Now, I get it. That's a lot for James Ennis because he's James Ennis. I have to take this shot here. He looked solid in game one. I'm hoping that can continue. But the Magic are going to need Aaron Gordon. You shouldn't expect them to be beating the Bucks, well, ever, but especially without Aaron Gordon. For right now, I have no choice but to lean on Ennis as one of my favorite value plays for today. It's a pace-up spot for the Magic. He's been a 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy, so it's not like he's a total zero offensively. There aren't a lot of places to spend down today. It's a bleak value slate. And all of it seems to exist on Orlando. Be careful in the way that you make your lineups. Be careful setting your groups. But I don't think you can ignore them no matter the outcome. James Ennis has to be on your radar if Aaron Gordon doesn't play. Okay, number 6, we're going to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was absolutely dreadful in game one. 6,600 on FanDuel, 6,300 on DK. That's where he's my number 4 guy. We're talking about a mid-40s GPP goal. I don't think that he's going to get enough respect today, given the first game. He has not been good in the bubble, that's for sure. You do see a little bit of a pace-up spot for OKC. And he's just a balanced guy. 19, 7, and 4 is a standard line for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to play big minutes. That one I'm not doubting. You just need him to kick it up a little bit. And I think they need more out of him if they want to try to advance in this series. They have an opportunity to attack the Rockets without Russell Westbrook. I think Shai has to wake up here, and I think it's a really good spot for him. I have him projected for 37 DK points. He only needs 7 more for you to be happy in a GPP. He could easily get himself north of 50. Those are the kind of things that will have you in contention for sure. I'm going to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here. I don't think Houston keeps this up in every game, and I expect Shai to get a little bit better. Go to Shai on DK. Don't mind him at all on FanDuel or SuperDraft. Alrighty, number 5, I'm going to Robert Covington. This is more of a FanDuel play than a play anywhere else, but he's perfectly fine across the board. You needed Jeff Green in game 1. I went a little bit heavier on Robert Covington then. I'm going to do that again today. 36 minutes. It's not a points and a rebounds thing. You're going to be looking for some steals, potentially some blocks, getting him into some passing lanes, getting him out in transition. 6,700 for a power forward is fantastic on FanDuel because the power forward spot on this Tuesday-Thursday set, this set of games, power forward is a real problem. Such a problem that Nerlens Noel ends up looking like an okay option. Not going to show up in this top 10, I promise you. You're looking for a low 40s total out of Robert Covington. And because it's the Rockets and these minutes can get so concentrated, the extremes will be big. There's a lot of downside in Robert Covington if it's a different wing that's clicking, or there's a lot of upside if it's going because there's not really a lot of other people coming into the game. I'm betting on Robert Covington today, particularly on FanDuel at an ultra shallow power forward spot. Now, if I'm paying up today, it's got to be Anthony Davis. He's 10-4 on FanDuel. And again, I said power forward is gross. It really is. He's only 7 points shy of his GPP goal. No one's ever surprised to see Anthony Davis put up a score in the 60s or north of that. And I stand by what I said 2 days ago. This is a terrible matchup for Portland with Anthony Davis. I don't know how they're getting away with playing Hassan Whiteside alongside of Nurkic for so long. Anthony Davis should roast this team. He needs to wake up, and I think that losing game 1 will be the fire that needs to push him more. There's something wrong with Anthony Davis if he doesn't look at this matchup and think, I should score every time down the floor. I think this wakes him up, and I think he does that. I'm projecting him for 30 and 11 just to start. If he can really get involved defensively, put on a bit of a block party when these guys try to come into the paint, we're talking about a monster performance, especially on FanDuel where blocks and steals are worth 3 points instead of 2. I got to pay up for Anthony Davis on FanDuel. It's a no-brainer. On DraftKings, it gets a little squirrely. I think you can probably go to Harden over AD, but either way, Anthony Davis is a high-end play, and on SuperDraft, he's number 3. You got to go to AD. Don't be scared of it. Alrighty, here we go. Back to the Magic. Number 3, Gary Clark. Now, this one's looking pretty good on FanDuel and DK, but it's definitely better on DraftKings, where Clark is 3,300. There aren't guys like this on today's slate. Again, I'm giving him 27 minutes. This is assuming Aaron Gordon is out. If he's in, this is going to change this entire outlook completely. Clark was bombs away in game 1. I'm hoping he has the same trigger in game 2. This is just easy value. 26.7 fantasy points is his GPP goal for today. I'm projecting him for 20. He's not a guy that fills up the stat sheet. I mean, I'm projecting him for 8 and 6. But there are only so many ways that you can pay down if you want to try to get to the Anthony Davis, James Harden, Damian Lillard tier. It's got to be Clark for me. There's just too many minutes to go around in Orlando right now, regardless of how bad the matchup is. So pay down for James Ennis, pay down for Gary Clark, or pay in the middle for someone that's going to be coming up shortly. Oh my God, this feels like such a chase. Sticking in at number 2, including my number 1 play on DraftKings at 4,500. I'm going to Markelle Fultz. Minutes were there. He started off hot in game 1, cooled off a little bit. DJ Augustine kind of took control. I'm going to Fultz, whether that's on FanDuel or DK, but DK is the spot. You only need 34 out of Fultz. If he gets active, that's a big one. If this game stays close, I love it. And if Aaron Gordon is in, I don't think it really changes Fultz's outlook at all. I think he gets these minutes one way or the other. The only guys that are truly affected would be Clark and Ennis. I mean, Fultz is the best play on DraftKings. That $4,500 price tag for a starting point guard is too low. The usage is there. Just because he can't shoot well doesn't mean he won't shoot. So getting hot will be really helpful. I like Fultz. I want to see him do better. I'm hoping defensively this could look a little bit better, but Milwaukee's not necessarily that team. Ultimately, this is a bet on playing time and pace. He's a 1 fantasy point per minute guy. If he's playing 29, 30 minutes, we're talking about 30 fantasy points. He barely needs to be better than that to pay you off in a GPP. That's the sort of stuff that I'm looking for. Guys that are almost at their GPP goal. You got to go to Fultz. And unfortunately today, it's looking like you got to have the Magic just like day 1. But I'm not done with Magic, guys. All right, so anyone that played him on Tuesday or watched this game knows this was not fun until like 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. My number 1 contender for today is Evan Fournier. He's 5,100 on both sites. That's number 2 on FanDuel, number 2 on DraftKings. The minutes are going to be there for sure. I'm giving him 34. He wasn't really shooting all that much early. I don't think that continues. I don't know how you would project that to continue. So we're talking about a guy that is going to have a positive usage rate and need mid-30s in a GPP. I love it. I am hoping that people stay away given how ugly the game was on Tuesday. He has not been very good in the bubble. Did have some struggles last year in the playoffs as well. I think today's the day that he at least tries to shoot his way out of those troubles. He hits this goal in the mid-20s, and that's the way that I want to go. I think it's incredible that I listed multiple Magic guys and didn't hit Vooch, but the price just isn't there. Evan Fournier is the number 1 contender for today. It makes me wildly uncomfortable to say that out loud, given Marc Gasol's performance yesterday. I mean, well, given everybody's performance yesterday. I gotta go there, though. The price is too low to ignore on both sites. You even get him at a small forward spot on FanDuel that is generally hard to fill. Fournier is going to wake up, and today is going to be the day. I just worry that the Milwaukee Bucks decide we're going to be the Milwaukee Bucks and totally limit the Magic. But even if that's the case, someone's got to shoot, and I'm betting on Fournier for today. All right, everybody, those are my top 10 contenders for today. I realized they were probably pretenders yesterday, but that's what makes today a different day. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. I will certainly have updates throughout the day as we get closer to lock at 1 o'clock. I'll also be on our NBA Live Before Lock show starting at noon. So if you need any updates to this list, if you have any questions, tune into that. We're going to put yesterday behind us. Best of luck today. I will talk to you again tomorrow morning.